Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game, Happy versus Sock. This game taking place here on a springtime version 1.2. Happy loses sometimes. Yes, that is true. Happy does sometimes lose. And well, we'll see what comes in this game as Happy spawns as the teal undead player on the bottom right-hand side of springtime. He is going up against the human player, Sock, spawning as the orange human player on the top left. I'm going to go ahead and get into 8 times speed. It is an Archmage versus a Lich first. All right, so Happy going to Lich first again now, venturing forth, doing a battle of intellect, and having a Lich first, well, really opens things up to more Icy Blast damage, Dark Rituals early on, and then getting that Frost Armor a little bit later, and then also having that Death Knight come a little bit later as well. Ghouls are now making their way over. Lich does have the option to try and blast right there. He's going to go after, go straight after that Sasquatch right there. We can see a quick expansion attempt going to be tried to be placed down, but the Archmage is already bringing over quite an army. All right, Lich is absorbing quite a bit of damage. That's not exactly what you want to see. There is the Claws of Attack +5, a big Frost Nova going down. Is a low hit point Ghoul going to get shut down here? Each Ghoul does make a difference. One more shot onto that Ghoul right there, going to go ahead and take it down before it can sacrifice itself onto some creeps. Lich now coming back around. More Rod of Necromancy Footman going to try and put pressure onto the Lich. Lich does not have any additional mana for another Frost Nova, but is fighting on the Blight, which is, well, decent enough healing that he could probably win a fight against that Archmage, especially as the Archmage is, is he technically on the Blight now? Yeah, I believe he's still technically on Blight. All right, damage still coming back on through. More damage still coming back in there. Exchanging blows. He has Claws of Attack +5, able to get in some big damage and still trying to whack things up. Low hit point Ghoul is going to be able to get away. Yes, it is. And the Archmage now suddenly suffering a lot more damage than he originally expected. Lich may be able to finish off this Footman here. That Footman down to 67 hit points. Going to go ahead and use a Dark Ritual or a Ritual Dagger to try and finish things off. Lich wants to keep a little bit of distance here, not get attacked by that Footman, and that Footman also does not want to get attacked by that Nerubian Tower. Lich already back up to 300 some odd hit points. It should be relatively okay as the units are on the move once again. All right, the Ziggurat was canceled there, but the Blight perhaps stays, and well, the Lich is now going to make its way back over. All right, units going to engage once more. Meanwhile, Lich is back up to 155 hit points, and well, that Ritual Dagger introduced to try and open play up and not always have a Death Knight has come true, as well. Lich gets to level 2, most likely going to be going for that Dark Ritual, Dark Ritual first. All right, Dark Ritual. Lich now back up to 256 mana. Well, it must be scary being a skeleton next to the Lich. You pretty much know that your time on this earth, even though, well, you come back temporarily, is not for long, as we see another Dark Ritual cast right there to try and max out that mana. All right, low hit point Ghoul retreating back once more. Meanwhile, Archmage came back down to the south side here, checked that there wasn't an expansion operational, and now looking for where that Lich perhaps could be. Lich, but nearly maxed out on mana, has picked up a Circlet of Nobility, though, and has quite a bit more, well, mana to do things as well. Trying to finish off this 3-2-1 creep camp. I don't believe it will give level 3 to that Lich, as level 3 would be a sudden power spike for that Dark Ritual. Now, what is Sock gonna do behind this? Sock cannot allow himself or Happy to take an experience lead on that Lich. If the Lich gets to level 3 far too quickly compared to the Archmage, well, these Footmen are all just gonna turn into experience for the undead army. There goes a bit of damage. All right, are we going to see a deny? Yes, we are. Making sure to not allow that experience to go through is another big play. There's another big Frost Nova right there. Lich still has plenty of mana to try and do it. Does get to level 3, and that is going to be a big deal. Level 1 Dark Ritual. Is he going to go ahead and there's another Ritual right there. He's going to try and Dark Ritual. Yes, he does. Trying to finish things off. Mountain King is there. There goes one more Footman. Lich now down to 162 mana. Does have another Frost Nova in him, and he's trying to finish off that Rifleman. One more shot is going to finish it off there, as the Lich is sitting at level 3 rather comfortably, but out of mana. 91 mana, 92 mana. Rifleman trying to retreat back away. Archmage is now coming in from behind. Is the Lich going to get enough damage onto this Rifleman to finish it off as the Priest are now coming over and nearby again? All right. There's a little bit of healing. Lich is not going to be able to stick around in this battle. There goes, oh, wow. There was a Dark Ritual and then a Frost Nova, but that Rifleman survived in the single hit point range and is now surrounded. Mountain King getting within range here, and this is going to be a misstep, a misstep by Happy. Happy doesn't make many missteps, but that definitely was one right there. On top of that, it is at the same time as the Death Knight was getting trained up, so that is going to further delay the resurrection of the Lich unless he wants to spend the extra gold and hire up from the tavern, which he is. Hiring up from the tavern is a more expensive endeavor, but you get that hero back out onto the battlefield faster. And by getting the hero back out onto the battlefield faster, you don't lose nearly as much time. Meanwhile, we are looking at the Mountain King getting up to level 2. Archmage will be getting up to level 3. Mountain King picking up a Pendant of Energy. That might be the item he's looking for to be able to get in more Storm Bolts to finish off the enemy units. Death Knight is already out in the battlefield, and we don't see a tech to tier 3, so we're not going to have access to Orb of Fire to try and offset a bit of that healing. All right, Ogre Magi, 5-4-4-3 hero coming in. Archmage already sitting at level 3, opting to go for level 2 Water Elemental over level 2 Brilliant Aura, and as the Mountain King, well, doesn't need nearly as much mana since it isn't trying to use both Thunderclap and Stormbolt. All right, Ice Troll Trapper going to get taken down here. Mountain King also picking up a nice potion of greater healing to try and keep him alive and well. Ice Troll Berserker out on the battlefield. Actually, I like that orange Ice Troll Berserker. It kind of looks really nice on this map. Maybe the fact that it's also orange arm or orange color. Does the color of the hair change? That's something I have to keep track of. All right, Stormbolt straight up onto a footman or a ghoul right there, finishing it off, and now going to clean up the remainder of this creep camp. Mountain King still does not have level 3 on that Mountain King just quite yet, as we can see the Sasquatch and the Frostwolf are going to be retreating back. Meanwhile, Lich and Death Knight, only with a lone ghoul here, going to make it all the way back home. And we are now finally looking into a transition into Crypt Fiend's Ghoul Frenzy and Obsidian statues. The army of Happy is actually fairly small, sitting at 33 supply compared to 43 by Sock. And now, well, the Mountain King is just looking to get more experience again and again. Archmage wants to get up to level 4 for that level 2 Brilliant Aura. Meanwhile, Death Knight and Lich is going to come across from the backside, takes the Frost Nova Steel, gets in that last hit. I don't even know how he was able to gain sight. Oh, a beautifully placed Sentry Ward, allowing for the Lich to get the last hit with that Frost Nova and gain even more experience. All right, Lich gets up to level 4 right there. Was that another Frost Nova? Again, yes, it was, and now still has access to Dark Ritual. Is he going to be able to finish off that unit right there? No, he is not. Stormbolt now onto the Lich. Lich tries to do something there, unable to get away. Death Knight may be forced to get a Death Coil off. No Stormbolt available. Mountain King perhaps trying to chase. Does have Boots of Speed, closing in on that distance, and now going after the Crypt Fiend. Little bit of damage coming back across. Perhaps going to try and get a bash onto that, onto the Death Knight. No bash there, and the Death Knight with plenty of mana, getting in those Death Coils to save those units. All right, Happy has perhaps made up the lost ground, getting to level 4 on that Lich first with a couple of perfectly timed Frost Novas with the help of a Sentry Ward, giving sight to deny experience and take it from his opponent. That double steal making a big deal there, as well the Lich would not be level 4 and perhaps the Archmage would be closer, well, by definition of the experience deal, would be closer to having level 2 Brilliant Aura. Fur color of Beastmaster creature depends on the tile set too. Blizz used to do some very cool stuff. Yep. Yeah, the tile set here, the Ice Troll Berserker with the orange hair, but orange and orange, that just looks so nice. That looks so nice. The art direction, I forget how good the art direction was here. And part of me wonders what how this guy looks in Reforged graphics if the same amount of detail was brought in, right? I'm not talking about pixels per inch, right, or how highly rendered the animated object is. I'm actually saying like the amount of care for what you actually have. Blizz still do cool stuff for the stakeholders at least. All right. All right, playing a little bit of a run around the springtime island. There was just a double backing around over and over around this set right here until the trail was lost. Archmage, getting some Fairy Fire cast. Mountain King going after this position here, having very strong items. I must admit, on this Mountain King, a Sobi mask for better mana regeneration, a pendant of energy, and now a potion of greater healing and a belt of giant strength. I would not be surprised if the potion of healing is eventually given to the paladin once the paladin gets to level 3, as he is going to be a giant target and he will need to be healed up as well. All right. Well, triple hero coming in from both sides. Inner Fire now on a line for coming in from the priest here, giving 5 additional armor and also plus 20% attack, or is it 25% attack? Some big damage indeed, as the paladin wants to try and level up. Meanwhile, off to the north here, Dark Ranger already sitting at level 2. Lich is on the move, sitting at level 4. Orb of Fire is on that Archmage as we're going after this Sasquatch creep camp here. All right, back down to the bottom left-hand side of the map. Paladin does get to level 2. It is most likely going to go for that Divine Shield, knowing that he is going to be at the receiving end of some Frost Novas and Death Coils, means that he needs a way to, somehow stay alive. Meanwhile, Unholy Aura on the Paladin for a little bit of passive regeneration and faster movement speed, as well as this creep camp taking a little bit of damage. Paladin pretty much trying to fight by himself. Oh no, he's not going to fight by himself. Scroll of Teleport not coming back the other way. Archmage, are we going to finish off this tracker here? Give the level up. No level up, as we are looking at an engagement inside the base here, but a quick Scroll of Town Portal exchange as one person goes inside and the other right there. 50 over 66 supply. Happy is actually the one in low upkeep. Meanwhile, Sock is purposely staying out of low upkeep at this point in time. Archmage should be backing away to try and give the Paladin level 3, but it looks as though only the Mountain King needed to back away there, as the Archmage does stay at level 4. Brilliance Aura, Unholy Aura, Mountain King with a Sobi mask and a Gloves of Haste to perhaps try and proc those bashes much more regularly. Meanwhile, Death Knight now coming in from the far side here, and Springtime is just a map with many paths to your opponent, and we are looking at Happy coming back in, this time from the south side to put in pressure. Scroll of Town Portal inbound again. More and more, all of those peasants are going to get taken down. Stormbolt Archmage unable to finish off anything right there. A couple of peasants lost once more, as more of those peasants now transitioned back over to try and working that gold mine line. All right, Obsidian Statue getting caught on some creeps, as well as that is going to rejoin up in just a moment. All right. 4-3-3 going up against a 4-3-3. Both sides. Mountain King going to try and dive on in. Stormbolt straight up onto that Lich. Orb of Fire onto the Death Knight. Holy Light onto the Death Knight. Why go in that particular direction? Mountain King continuing to fight back every which way, as we see Holy Light trying to save those the Riflemen back as well. All right, more damage and engagement. Riflemen continue to retreat back here. Obsidian Statue really going a bit too far, as the Crypt Fiends are now going after some of those other targets as well. All right, Rifleman, Orb of Corruption causing quite a bit of problem. Inner Fire not working well against the Destroyers, as they're just going to be able to devour that magic fairly quickly. Staff of Sanctuary saved by the Archmage onto a Rifleman there, but this is just an absolute bloodbath, as Happy with the larger army is really dishing out quite a bit of damage, even with a number of well-timed Holy Lights and all of that there. That is just not going to be enough. All right, Burrow onto a Crypt Fiend, who ends up getting saved at 9 hit points, while a Rifleman gets lost as well. All right, things are going extremely well for Happy, sitting at 61 supply, has the larger army. Archmage actually caught between an Arcane Vault and a Castle, needing to, sell the farm or break the farm in order to make its way out. All right, able to make its way out now. We're looking at 41 supply compared to 58. Happy is just in a great spot, but this is one of those situations where the human army does have powerful enough heroes, and if the cards line up correctly, you could shut down the Death Knight or Lich, and that could be the first, well, domino to give the victory to the human player. Sock. Destroyers. All right, Destroyers off to the north here. There's a little bit of Devour magic. Not much going on there. Stormbolt onto a Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend ends up surviving. I thought the Stormbolt would actually... There's a Death Coil right there to try and save it. There is a bash onto that Dark Minion once again, as we do see the Destroyers are trying to go after and devour all of that magic there. Mountain King could have an Orb of Fire to try perhaps engage against the Destroyers and allow his that bash to proc against those Destroyers there, similar to, perhaps Orb of Lightning proc from a Blade Master, do a little bit of damage. Stormbolt onto the Death Knight. Death Knight taking quite a bit of damage here. Is he going to be able to back away? Staff of Sanctuary for the save. Silence across the Mountain King and the Paladin as they're unable to do very much. More Devour magic coming back across as the Lich says, you know what, trying to back away. Death Knight does end up getting taken down. Death Knight falls at level 3. And, well, giving level 4 to that Mountain King, perhaps a higher proc rate on that bash will be a bit of an advantage too. All right, 49 supply compared to 53. Death Knight is still not back here onto the battlefield. We could look at a Stormbolt onto a trailing Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend now going to take quite a bit of damage. A Holy Light is all that is going to need to try and take it down, as the units are all in a bit of a race again. Are we going to see another Stormbolt onto another Crypt Fiend here? Yes, we are. Those Stormbolts are coming in pretty regularly. Another follow-up bash. There's another Holy Light. And, well, damage of Happy as he is trying to retreat back. 52 supply compared to 49 as the Death Knight is resurrected at the tavern. All right, trying to figure out where all of these units are. Destroyers heading back off to the north. Riflemen who were saved by Staff of Sanctuary rejoining in on the fight right there. And I swear I did not see this game in the preview this game. Just trying to make predictions on how I think Sock could get back into the game, and, well, it seems to be the case so far. Holy Light going to save that Rifleman. Still has Staff of Sanctuary on cooldown as the Riflemen will have to deal with Destroyers who have now a bit of mana because of a delicious magic water elemental. All right, 50 supply compared to 52. Both sides pretty even. Paladin with that whole unholy aura being able to move across the map at a faster rate, really working out well as we see more Devour magic just constantly causing problems. Mountain King having Orb of Fire would really work out well, as that Orb of Fire allows for more storm bolts or that bash effect to actually land it down onto some units. Are we going to see some more attacks here? All right, 1 or 2 more engagements. There goes Fireball, was able to find that target. 3 Crypt Fiends have fallen because of movement speed, not catching up with that Death Knight and that level 1 Unholy Aura. Goblin Zeppelin, however, double backing around. Where is it perhaps going to try and go, as the Destroyers are now making their way over to perhaps put some pressure, but now see some workshops are under construction. All right, gold mines. What you see is what you get. There is about a little bit more than a minute or 2 minutes of mining, depending on who you look at. Sock's Sock's base having a little bit less gold. Paladin gonna pick up a Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3, getting an additional 75 hit points, and also perhaps being able to engage against or deal a little bit of damage as well. Arcane Tower right here. Flying Machine trying to catch up here, and in comes, well, the Death Knight. Death Knight drops down out of the sky to, well, be able to land a Death Coil on that low hit point Destroyer. Mountain King wants to finish things off here, perhaps getting a bash or Orb of Fire attack. No, not going to work out, as the Destroyers are trying to come back every which way. All right, Flying Machine's looking to retreat back here, as we're looking at the Orb of Fire and, well, the air attacks really working out well, but not having multiple heroes who can engage is a major, major setback. All right. Death Knight purposely getting out and then escorting. Oh, beautiful pickup right there, escorting the Goblin Zeppelin to get a little bit of a movement speed bonus. Look at that. And knowing that the Death Knight has faster movement speed and also makes the Goblin Zeppelin move faster, he's just jumping in and out of that Goblin Zeppelin when the trees are available. Beautifully, beautifully done there. All right, gonna go ahead and try and engage once more. Archmage. 2-1 upgrades on those riflemen. Priest do have inner fire, as we mentioned many times earlier. And, well, we could be looking at a little bit of long distance mining here in just a moment. Yeah, the amount of micro coming in from Happy just to inch out a little bit of additional efficiency is just astronomical. He's now going into what I call the Hail Mary play of Undead, where he's starting to unsummon buildings to try and build up and get a larger army for one last push. Level optimization, yeah. Flying machines getting trying to engage here 2-0 upgrades against those destroyers. Destroyers, well, gonna go ahead and exchange some blows here. And, well, the Death Knight may need to get some death coils off to, well, keep those destroyers all topped off. Units are now retreating back here. We are looking at the expansion being placed down here. The flying machines of Sock do need to get repaired, as all of the gold is now gone for Sock as well. 60 over 66 supply, but an expansion is currently being getting set up here, and the question is going to be timing. These 5 flying machines are actually keeping tabs on the undead army, but we can see now there are 4 destroyers here and a 64 over 50 supply army here. All right, and the destroyers also have mana. All right, that is going to be key. It was said many, many years ago, flying machines versus destroyers, who wins out in the fight? And the question really hinges on whether or not the destroyers had mana. If the destroyers have mana, the splash damage really knocks the flying machines out before they're able to get in significant damage here, as we are looking at, well, a little bit of an engagement here. Flying machines going to try and put in a little bit of pressure. The flying machines really need to be repaired. There is a lot of inner fire also on all of these riflemen as well. And, well, the destroyers could easily devour magic to get quite a bit more going. Mountain King still does not have that orb of fire, as he's maxed out on items across the board. Has a potion of lesser invulnerability and a potion of greater healing. I still think the potion of greater healing should be given to the paladin, and have the orb of fire given to the Mountain King to perhaps just accidentally proc a bash and be able to pick off a unit from time to time. And meanwhile, Undead Army trying to push inside of the main base now, as the destroyers are coming back across here. Flying machines could try and engage. There is another Devour magic there, as the destroyers are going to absolutely blast apart all of those flying machines since they have mana. Riflemen trying to engage here as well, but with the Lich at level 5, level 3 Frost Nova is going to be a definite problem. There's a double level up, or it looked like a double level up there at the Death Knight. Leveled up there. Flying Machine's going to go ahead and try and engage. Rifleman trying to shoot back here. Mountain King does not have Thunderclap, even though that does seem to be the good call here to try and take down all of these Crypt Fiends. 55 supply compared to 55. Both sides fighting their way through, as we're looking at the Paladin and Mountain King trying to make their way back out. All right, so many low hit point casters in the back here. Crypt Fiends should be able to blow them apart, as the Lich gets in a big Frost Nova across multiple targets. However, there is a Scroll of Town Portal in play. They are all going to back away. Sock ends up, wow, that black arrow was fired and then died. Sock ends up saving and holding on to his expansion, while, well, Happy has none of that going for him at all. He is unsummoning more buildings, perhaps going to try and pick up another potion of lesser invulnerability. I didn't even expect the Lich to have a Scroll of Town Portal in that engagement at all, as the Mountain King, well, the Mountain King perhaps wishes that he has a way to deal with all of those Crypt Fiends, but doesn't have the goal to really try and retrain at this point. Stormbolt straight up onto the Death Knight. Death Knight now, well, in a pretty safe position. There's a, well, Frost Nova and dead Rifleman already in position there. Lich continuing to fight back. Orb of Corruption eating through, as the Destroyers are trying to retreat back. Are they going to end up staying alive? No, one Destroyer gets taken down. Paladin gets up to level 4, but Divine Shield is now going to be on cooldown for quite a bit, as both sides are still fighting their way through. Death Knight in trouble. Potion of lesser invulnerability and a potion of healing used in time. Archmage falls at level 4, as the Paladin and the Mountain King now need to do this without having as much mana, as all the sides are fighting their way through. 44 supply compared to 31. And now there is a Stormbolt on to the Death Knight. Death Knight bought the potion of invisibility and also the dust of appearance, but there is a flying machine overhead. Mountain King can land a Stormbolt right there. Holy Light's going to finish off the Death Knight as the Destroyer now is trying to chase down the other way. Lich now fighting, Lich and Dark Ranger fighting together as the Paladin going after some of these additional units. Paladin doesn't have that much mana at all. And, well, like I said, if there was an Orb of Fire on the Mountain King, you could actually engage against those Destroyers as the Dark Ranger now gets up to level 5. All right, Silence cast onto the Paladin there. No Holy Light attempt. 30 supply compared to 39. The army size of Happy is just that much larger because of all of these Dark Minions here. Look at all of those Dark Minions who were once peasants, and this Town Hall is going to end up falling relatively quickly because of the Dark Minions' normal damage. Normally piercing damage, magic damage, not representing an efficient way at taking down buildings. But when you have over a half a dozen skeletal minions, well, suddenly that doesn't become a problem. Lich also with so much mana as well, as each of those dark minions is a perfect dark ritual sacrifice. All right, gonna go ahead and try and engage here. Lich is so close to level 6 as well that we could be looking at perhaps Death and Decay, as the Mountain King may run out of, may not be able to land a Stormbolt down, as there is a silence on the table as well from that Dark Ranger. All right, big Frost Nova across multiple targets there. Paladin trying to make its way through. The Paladin, does he have any? Does have the potion of healing right now. Mountain King, meanwhile, going to try and engage here. There's a burrow on a Crypt Fiend. That Paladin could end up getting taken down. There's a potion of greater healing. Potion of lesser invulnerability is still available. Mountain King trying to go after some of those other targets. Rifleman, well, getting just absolutely attacked here, trying to engage. Dark Ranger now in a little bit of trouble. He has a potion of lesser invulnerability as well, or she does, as the Archmage arrives to the party. All right, little bit of damage there. Potion of lesser invulnerability being transferred back over. Dark Ranger could be in a little bit of trouble. Flying Machine, Frost Nova, Stormbolt onto the Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger down to 200 hit points. Dark Ranger could end up getting taken down there, and he, well, nope, not quite yet. Trying to catch up to that target there. Mountain King does have Boots of Speed, and there is that level up. Level 5 now on that Mountain King changes things, as level 3 Stormbolt is now available and on the table. Death Knight is still down. Lich is sitting at level 6. All right, I had thought that with the death of the Archmage, that would be too much, but some strong play and good use of a flying machine able to shut down that Death Knight. And, well, then it came down to Mountain King and Archmage, Mountain King and Paladin going up against the Lich and the Dark Ranger. However, without the burst heal of the Death Knight, things just were not looking good. Stormbolt right there, continue to try and pick things off. There's a big bash right there. Orb of Fire is, well, on the Archmage still after all this time, as we see an unsummoning of the Black Citadel. All right, bringing everything together here. Are we going to see Orb of Fire damage there? Are we going to see the Stormbolt trying to save? And now, well, that was not a full heal, as the remaining Riflemen are actually getting picked off and apart. Lich now gets up to level 6 as it gains a little bit more experience. Archmage going to drop a Water Elemental, try and stay alive. There's a Holy Light right there. We could be looking at the Orb of Fire damage coming across onto the Death Knight. Death Knight now down to 300 hit points. There's a Stormbolt right there. Archmage trying to go after Lich trying to go after the Archmage. Archmage trying to stay alive there. There's a bash onto the Lich. Lich trying to retreat back. Paladin still has a little bit of mana as well. Perhaps a potion of lesser invulnerability. Everything is hinging on the heroes, as the Mountain King does have enough for a Stormbolt and finishes off the Lich. Archmage now gets up to level 5, and that is the game. A back and forth battle hinging on the heroes, and in this instance, all you needed was the heroes to try and shut down the other heroes. Orb of Fire, I still believe Orb of Fire on the Mountain King would have been a very, very strong call. Anytime you can proc a bash and stun a destroyer, take away their high mobility for a little bit of time, that could have been extremely effective. But I do understand that it is an expensive item to pick up. Anyways, coming back around, that closing moment just a back and forth. The Death Knight resurrected at the tavern, but didn't have that much mana. And the Archmage, with making its presence known with that Brilliance Aura and the Sobi Mask on that Paladin, giving enough mana for the Paladin to continue to do his thing. The Potion of Greater Healing was eventually transferred to that Paladin, as I expected it would be, as there were still plenty of survivabilities items on the Mountain King in that Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, and also that Potion of Lesser Invulnerability on that Paladin. In the end, it was a great game, great matchup. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below if you are on YouTube. Just having a long closing session also to make it difficult to predict who's going to win the game just by watching the timer on YouTube. Anyways, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.